All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. And Denise is always ready. All right, Krista. Awesome. Arif. Good to see you, my man. Awesome stuff right here. So we got a lot to go through today. Follow up. We're going to be talking about email blasts that we give you. We're going to talk about getting leads to your CRM where you may have follow up there. We're going to talk about the AI text follow up. And then we're going to talk about the follow ups that you can use in Listings to Leads and how you can take some of those emails with the PDF guides and all that from Listings to Leads, drop it into your CRM. Get a lot of great feedback on that. A lot of people give us awesome feedback, both on our email follow up, our AI text follow up, those email blasts that get listings, get buyers engaged, but then also taking those emails and dropping them into their own CRM. So we're going to got a lot to talk about today. But before we do, let me just mention that I got an email from a client this morning, and he didn't give me a lot of information yet. I did email him back and just I said, yo, okay, great stuff. I mean, he's already picked up 3 expired, 7 standard listings using the expired marketing plan and the 100-point marketing plan. It's also got 2 of those sellers on their next purchases. So from right there, that's 12. And then he's got another 6 from consistent follow up. And yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm excited to hear back from him on that one. And in addition, just super briefly, just absolutely gorgeous. If you guys haven't seen this yet, man, I'm telling you, this video. So this home is from like 1827 in Athens, Alabama, not Athens, Greece. But man, this video is really sharp. What just one second, then we'll get into the call because they're right here. So she did this kind of whole really cool, yeah, right there. Like they showed the past and the future. I mean, it's a special home. And it stayed in the same family. I looked up the address on chat, and it looks like it stayed in the same family for over 100 years, from like 1827 to 1951. Then it got sold to somebody. They sold it to the next person from 51 in the mid 60s. I know nobody cares, but just let me finish it. And it was that third owner that redid the whole thing. And then I think the third owner might be the current ones that are selling the property. So, anyways, I saw that coming through last night and I thought that was so gorgeous. Now, for follow ups, please always be sure to check your pop up. When you log in, I know you're logging in, you got something you want to get done. You're not interested in something different. You're just trying to get done what you're trying to get done. But come back in here, and we drop every week or two, sometimes a couple times a week, emails for both buyer leads and seller leads. And these emails, they're not just emails, they are bridges between information, content, and your lead capture. And so what you do is you log in, even if you don't see the pop up, just you can scroll down. There's a section on your listings to leads database called database email blast. Now, if you are, some of you, a lot of you don't know this, there might be some of you that this will apply to. We have gone to our new platform as of about 2 weeks ago. So if you are on this call or watching this video and your dashboard looks different, you're going to see this in the same kind of area, but it's going to be like a little square, and it's going to say email blast. So just click on it. If you don't see this, ask our support team. We're going to be moving all of you over to the new system in a couple of weeks. We're just finishing up some dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So if there's anybody here and you don't have the ability, or you're not seeing what I'm seeing because you're on the new system, right? Most of it's pretty similar. We try to keep the differences as minimal as possible for now. But again, just go with our support team. They'll walk you through it. They'll help you out. They'll get you dialed in, and you'll be absolutely fine. So with these emails, for example, new construction update, builders are offering more incentives. And if you mouse over the headline, it'll tell you who it's for. So this is for new construction or buyer leads. The Priscilla Presley home, that's for your seller leads. On the 13th, so almost a week, I guess a week ago. I don't know what the date is, say the 20th maybe. Send to your buyer leads, send to your seller leads. So let me click on that one. And let me just show you, because they all work the same way. Once you've done it once, you'll see how to do it going forward. So here's the email, and this is for the one for seller leads. And so what we do is we'll take whatever the content is. So in this case, it was the new home builders index, right? So the new home builders Wells Fargo report. And in that, it says home buyer demand jumped to a 4-week high, and according to the latest mortgage application data. So that was the mortgage application update. Purchase applications are now up 11% higher than this time last year. And then we'll relate it to the audience. So in this case, it's for homeowners, for seller leads. For homeowners, this usually means more buyers entering the market, increased home buying activity heading into the spring market, and homes that are priced well will attract attention. And then we want to make it more contextualized. But here's the thing that many homeowners don't realize. Many buyers are actively looking right now, while not a lot of new listings have hit the market yet. This combination can create a great opportunity for sellers before inventory increases later this spring. And then we offer them, right? If you want to get, if you want to get the strongest offer in today's market, you need the best marketing plan possible. And then it's got a link to your 100-point home marketing plan. Now you can edit this all you want. So you can edit it, right? Take that, drop it into Chat GPT and say, hey, localize this for my area. Don't make it a big old thing, and make sure you don't change the link. So I would copy everything but the link. So just copy everything above it if you want to do that, but you don't need to. If you click the preview tab, again, you're going to see here, now this is the preview. So here's my listings lead signature. Here's that link again. And if I click that link, you'll see now it's going to go right here. And then they can put in their email, boom, get my 100-point home marketing plan. If they're looking to buy, all right, there's that. And then they can also get their home value. So this is all set up for you. You don't have to change the links. You don't have to do anything except get it out. So somebody said, Krista, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it that way. So you can go copy code. All right, copy code. And I'll tell you what, let me just model it out for you. So you'll go to your CRM. Krista, what CRM are you using? Like Follow Up Boss, Realty Juggler, Bold, Lofty. Because what you're going to do is this. You're going to go to where you're going to send the email. KV Core, perfect. So this is one way. All right, I'm just going to pop that in for the subject line, because I just want to show you, if you do the copy code, you will click in the editor, and there's an easier way. I'm going to show you the easier way next. There's a little button in the editor called HTML code. Sometimes it's called source. Just click on it, paste in the copy code stuff, and there you go. And then you can just delete the previous tag, and there you go. Awesome. Now, the easier thing I think to do is back in listings to leads. So here I am at that same email in listings to leads. You can also just copy it, like literally copy it. Go to your CRM. I'm going to delete everything that was there. So again, go to your CRM and just paste it in. And there we go. Beautiful. Should be just about perfect. Again, I can make any edits I want in my CRM, right? Make sure to put in the subject line, save yourself the draft, send a test email just to make sure everything looks good and everything's working properly, and get that out to your seller leads. It should literally take you about a minute to a minute and a half to get that out the door. But I would check these every so often. So even if you don't pay attention to the pop-up when you first log in, come down here to the database email blast, and usually the one for the sellers. So check this out, new construction update, because this is a part of follow-up. These emails are phenomenal. We get really good feedback on them. And because again, it's topical data, but it's not just, Oh yeah, yeah. So here, that one was the National Home Builder Report, right? And then here we say, because it's to a buyer, if you're considering a new construction home, I recommend scan the new best construction options, including communities offering incentives. Get a quick strategy set before you tour. I'll help you so you know what to ask for and what's negotiable. If you want, just reply new and tell me the areas you want, your price range, whether you need help with financing. And so this is great because if anyone that does reply new, all right, they're going to say something maybe like Folsom, $500,000 to $700,000. Again, this is for new construction, and then you can now engage them on new construction properties. Find out some of the incentives. Let them know that the builder and the salespeople at the builder, A, they work for the builder. They don't work for you as the buyer. And B, typically that awesome sounding loan that they're going to give you from their in-house lender actually has more points and more costs associated with it than what you can get from your preferred lender or from one that they may have privately. Make sense? Yep. Krista, okay, I just tested this and went to my CRM. The link went to the database page. Yeah. Krista, send me an email a little bit later. And if you can, just send me the email. Just when you do test email, put scott@listings2leads.com in the email, and then I'll check it out for you. Yeah. That's probably because you copied it from the edit section and you didn't copy it from the preview. So when you're going to copy it, if you're going to copy just this part of it, copy it from the preview and you should be good to go. Okie doke. All right. So part 1 are these database emails. Part 2, let's get it to your CRM. So if you've got a CRM, so in this case, Krista, if you've got KV Core, what you want to do is go into your Listings to Leads profile, go to CRM integration. All right, there's a tab, the kind of the fourth one over to the right, and KV Core. Isn't KV Core called Bold Trail now? Or am I wrong? I think KV Core is now Bold, but we also got KW Command. That's via API Nation. But you see Boomtown, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, Moxie, Realty Juggler, Real Geek, Sierra, Top Producer, Wise Agent. We got Zapier. So yeah, so it's called Bold Trail. That's what I thought. So there you go. So it's asking for your Bold Trail site token ID. No idea what that is, but it says here, see how to find it. You're going to just ask their support. Hey, if you don't know where it is, ask the Bold Trail support, and so on. Follow Up Boss, for example, it's just the Follow Up Boss email. For Lofty, you're going to connect and it's going to connect it. For all other CRM, so if your CRM is not listed here, then ask them for, you can use Zapier, you can use API Nation if you want to, but most CRMs are going to have what's called a lead forwarding email address. I'm going to pop that right into the chat just so you can kind of see it. There we go. So you're going to ask your support for this thing, right? Lead forwarding email address. And it's not the email you log in with. It's a crazy looking email. It's not even, your name won't even be in it, right? And you're going to grab it, you're going to drop it, paste it in, and you're going to hit save. So don't be putting your scott@listings2leads.com email here thinking that's the right one, because it's not. It's an email that you would never use anywhere else except in this type of application. So that's what I would do. And then last case scenario, we do have Zapier. The biggest application for this will be all of you using Go High Level. Then you're going to need to use Zapier, and you're going to use Lead Connector. Now, it's funny because my wife told me this yesterday. My wife's a mortgage broker. She said, I think I'm going to get Go High Level. I said, no, you're not. I said, listen, you had enough problems with Follow Up Boss. Go High Level is like Tech Expert 10 level, and you're going to spend more time and more money paying people and dealing with everything that there is. Go High Level is awesome, but if you are not paying people to do it for you, or spending an inordinate amount of time in there, don't. Just stay away from Go High Level. Nothing against it. If you're using it, I mean, it's an amazing program, but it's also, you got to be somewhat tech savvy with that. All right, and that's just my opinion. If you love it and you find it easy, more power to you. All right, so we covered the email blast. We covered getting these leads to your CRM. The third thing I'm going to cover is setting up the AI text follow up and how to use it to its best effect. So you're going to see it, for most of you, you should see it, like, for example, on the listings page. If you go to the ads page, I believe a link should be there. If you go to the leads page, there should be a link there as well. And it says, it's the green button up on the top right, never lose a lead again. And if you click it, oh, Deb, good to see you. Oh, let me get the comments turned on. Sorry, I don't have the comments on. Yeah, Deb says agree. Literally, you just said what I said, right? I mean, Go High Level sounds amazing, right? You know, you're reading all the write up and you're reading, all the, it's amazing. But if you don't have the inclination for A, being pretty tech savvy, and B, enjoying screwing around and setting up processes and flows, you're gonna just die, and figuratively. And so Debbie, exactly right. I mean, that's exactly right. Follow Up Boss. And then my wife started complaining about, well, Zillow owns Follow Up Boss and blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, Zillow, and if somebody knows different, tell me. But I'm like, Zillow's not going to steal your leads. I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think Zillow's going to steal your leads. And if you want something else, get something else. In fact, I told her, I said, check into Lofty. I said, look at Lofty. I would love for you to get Lofty, because then I got more to train on. Brent, oh, awesome, Brent. Good to see you here in KV Core. You'll find your BBC address in lead Dropbox. Do you mean lead forwarding email? In the lead Dropbox under lead engine tab. Yeah, and I think that's I saw that before. Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that. AI text follow-up. All right, so let's talk about this for a little bit, because there's a way to use this where it's really wrong, and there's a way to use it where it's right. The setup part is the easiest thing. And again, Go High Level, I saw people were paying $500-600 for somebody to set this up, because again, there's all the flows and all the stuff. So read through this, so you'll see what type of ads it covers. It doesn't cover every single ad, but it covers most of them. So there's a little write-up. You can see a sample conversation right here. You can see a sample seller conversation, and just hit next. You're going to subscribe. You're going to pick your plan to start with 50. Hit next. How it works, select your plan. Yeah. Hit next on the next page. Now I can't do this because I've already been subscribed and everything. But on the next page, you're going to select really two options. A, what is the name you want of your AI text assistant to be? And B, what leads do you want it to go after? Buyer leads, seller leads, or both? It'll take you 30 to 45 seconds to get this activated. And then the very next lead that comes in, all right, where, it's part of that flow, it will attach automatically and it will start the conversation. So even if you had an ad for a pending listing, home value, cash offer, open house, right? It was already active from before. And then you turn this on, and then a lead comes in 30 seconds later, the AI text will initiate. Now for the AI text, and let me bring over, so I'm going to bring over some screenshots, because I can't show live lead data in the system for obvious reasons. Yeah, Brent, yes. So this is from a live client this morning. Not me. This is from a client from Keller Williams. It doesn't matter, but whatever, because you're going to see next. So she's had 177 plus 25 plus 30. That's 51. It's like 225 leads come through. All right, 225 leads coming through. 177 were marked unqualified. 25 are in conversation. 32 are qualified. And we're going to look at a complete average sample, not the best, not the worst, right? I just went through her account this morning and just wanted to find one that was like kind of typical that you can expect from this. But that's pretty good. What? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So 1 in 6. 1 in 6. That's pretty darn good. Yeah. That's better than what? And you know what? She's a little bit above because I think system-wide average is it qualifies 12%. So essentially 1 out of every 10 leads, it will qualify for follow-up from you. And let's take a look at by what I mean by that, what you can expect. Is this used only? Yes. Yeah. Only for ads. So now let's say you got an ad, and we're going to go through the ads because how you set up your ads are really critical as well. So we'll get to that in a minute. But let's say you got an ad going, it triggers the AI text. What's going to happen is the first thing that's going to happen is you will get a notification that first of all, you generated a lead. All right. So you generate a lead, Philip X, email, phone number. So you get name, email, phone number. And as you can see over here, what is your time frame to buy? In fact, let me just highlight so you can see what I'm looking at. What is your time frame to buy? Just dreaming. Do you have a home to sell? No. Would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? No. Well, yeah, he said no to all of it. So I'm going to get a lead notification email saying, hey, Scott, you just generated a new lead at your listing at 1150 Collier Road. Here's the name, here's the email, here's the phone number. Here are those 3 questions that were in the Facebook lead form. And here's what Philip said. Okay, great. Then I'm going to get a second notification saying the AI text has engaged with your lead, Philip X. All right. Now, he hasn't responded yet. It's just saying that they've initiated. I guess initiated is better than engaged. So that it's been initiated. Now, if it's a landline, which sometimes it is, it'll let you know, hey, this is a landline, not a mobile phone number. And if it's a bad phone number, it's going to let you know. So I kind of like that right there because now I know it's a bad phone number, it's a landline, it's a good phone number. Okay, great. And it's going to give you, here's the first thing it's going to say is essentially, hi, Philip. This is Blake, the client coordinator for the All Aces Realty Group. Thank you for requesting information on, and then home value, cash offer, price reduced, the listing, PDF guide. Okay. So it's going to reference that. And then for the listing, it says, would you like more information about this property? Or 2, are you just browsing? You can reply end to opt out. All right. So and that'll be in the email that you get, right? Letting you know. So because you always want to make sure you're monitoring this. Next up, so the lead responds back. I was just browsing. Okay, great. So then the AI text says, understood. Our free 25 Insider Secrets of Home Buying Guide is packed with money-saving tips. Would you like a copy? All right. Looks like that was sent on the 12th. No response on the 14th. Would want me to send you a free list of homes with recent price reductions. All right. No response after a couple more days. It looks like it might be later on the same day. Then it says, are you interested in homes with a primary bedroom on the first floor? So, it's just going to throw things out there. It's going to throw different types of offers to the lead, whether it's a seller lead or a buyer lead. So then the lead comes back and says, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I would be interested in a ranch style home, everything on one level. I mean, that's phenomenal. Now we got something to hang our hat on. Now we got something to sink our teeth into as the agent. And every time now when the system is sending these out, I don't think it's going to notify you. But anytime the lead responds, I'm going to get an email, and your email looks exactly like this. I mean, your email will look just like this that you get. It'll update your CRM. And in the email, I can tap and it will open up this page in listings to leads. So I can come right here and find out, all the information about them. Brent said, "Did you give them a note close-ended question? Why not ask if they're looking for rather?" Um, yeah, Brent, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I'll Cloak. Why not ask? What are they looking for? Um, yeah, I don't. There might be a reason why, but let me ask my team. But I think the goal, yeah, I'm sure we may have done that before and it didn't work out very well. And the goal is to get them something of interest because, if they're just like, because if they don't answer that question, I mean, we could ask that and just, as part of one of these. But the goal is to make an offer of something that they want and just kind of, keep going with that. Yeah. KVC does the same. I change it immediately. Oh, okay. Yeah, Brent, maybe I'll reach out to you a little bit later and get a little bit more information on that. Yeah. I always tell people, give me your feedback. All right. So the cool thing here though is, and I mean, you can see from her numbers, right? It works pretty well. And so now as soon as this happens, it will turn off automatically. So you can see here, lead qualified, already in communication. But you can also turn this off anytime you want. So that's what so you get those emails and the email is going to come to you. And so for example, let's just say the lead said something like, let's just say the lead said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'd be interested in a ranch style home, everything on one floor, on one level. And let's say for whatever reason, the AI text did not end the conversation and kept going. Well, that could be fine. But then you may go, that's all the information I need. Turn it off for whatever reason, and then just follow up yourself. Because at the end of the day, and also, you are not excused from following up. So you still need to make sure you are time blocking an hour a day. Maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour and a half. My wife does this and she does it in the winter time. She does, I think, 5:30 to 6:30, or 6 to 7. And then in the summer, she'll do 7 to 8. So I think daylight savings, she'll start flipping back to calling from 7 to 8 p.m. because she just finds that's the best time. But you might do a couple times a day. Maybe do. I've had clients that will do it late morning, and then I have other clients that do it in the afternoon or do it in the evening. With my wife, her idea is she just didn't want to bother people at work, and she has good results with those times. So, anyways, that's the AI text. Now, there's one really, really, really cool thing. So you notice we're going to close that and we're going to go. So in the lead detail, I'll come back to that in a second. In the lead detail page, right? So we got the lead detail. So here's name, email, phone number, especially for your buyer leads. If you find out, so if you look them up, so in listings to leads right here, if I click on that more button, see where it says more, and search name on Google, search email on Google, search phone on Google. A lot of the times, not always, name not so much, but email and phone, you're going to be able to find more information about them. So let's just say, for example, it's a bad phone number. And so I go search, and you may have this with another program, phenomenal. But we have this here, search email on Google. And then so it's going to search the email on Google and open up another tab. And you can kind of look through there really quickly and find out, hey, is there any more information we can get from this? I've done this before with leads and found out where they work, the picture of them, more information about them, add it to the notes, right? So add it to as a note. And that way I know more about them, but I can also find a home address. I can find another phone number. I can find their spouse. Spokio. Yeah, exactly right. Spokio would be another great one. Yeah. We got downsizing. Yeah, 100%. I'll show you that a little bit later. All right, for sure. In fact, I'll show you how to use that in your follow-up, right? As part of follow-up, how can you take the email that we got for that and drop it into your CRM if you want? But check this out. What I want to show you is this: add address. All right. And if I were to go phone number primary, so if I say 121 Tomlinson Drive, Folsom, California, she's a owner, all right? I can add other stuff. All right, lead detail updated. Now check this out, home valuation. If I were to click on that, and then I click on email, I can email her home value. Got some PDF guides, recent sales, all of my reviews, my listings to lead signature. So if you got a buyer lead and you find out that they own a home, right? Add that home, and then I don't remember if this will go out every 30 days. Like for example, when somebody fills out the free home value landing page or property valuation plus landing page or the embed in your single property website, they will get an update every 30 days, the first week of the month, which is absolutely awesome. Not a lot of people know that, but it's true, which is very, very cool. Now, I haven't looked at this in forever. I don't even know if this works. Let's see. Create listing presentation. Oh, I have no idea what that's going to look like. I haven't looked at this in so long. Oh, that's just that. Okay. At some point, we're going to, from there, because I mean, who cares about this? I can get that from my account. At some point, what will happen is when I do create listing presentation here, it will actually pull. And I think, for example, I think you'd have to have maybe you've got to have a photo. Let me see something. So I did create. All that did was it just buy this. So if I do more, email, add task, add note. Yeah. Because I know one of the plans that we've got is to be able to create the listing presentation for this lead right from this page, right? So that I don't have to go to listings and add them manually because I've already got her here, so that I would be able to go to create listing presentation, add a photo, and then it would create, the custom ones like this right here. All right. So that's kind of in our plan. First, we're going to be moving everybody over to the new platform in the next couple of weeks, I hope. All the new people joining us are on the new platform already. So yeah, Sunday I can send the email. So this is marginal, manageable to use to manage leads if you need to. So if you got Bold Trail, get them. This is not a replacement for Follow Up Boss. I'm not trying to insinuate that, but what I am saying is you can definitely use this in a pinch if you need to. So now we talked about the email blast. We talked about getting leads to your CRM. We talked about the AI text follow-up and how that works and how to manage it and how to deal with it. That you still need to make sure you're following up. How to use the lead detail page for a little bit of follow-up ideas. And then next, let's talk about the follow-ups inside of listings to leads, because you can use our follow-ups either here, or you could take them and kind of like copy and paste them into your own CRM and integrate it with current follow-ups that you may already have. So I'll just talk real quickly first about how to use the ones we've got, and because it's so easy. And then I'll talk about using it within your own CRM. So in listings to leads, you're going to see when you first get here, I think you're only going to see seller lead follow-up, buyer lead follow-up, and then Spanish buyer, Spanish seller. So you're going to see 4. As you can see, you can create all sorts. There's tons of them. And in fact, I got to get that one live for people. This one right here, your journey to home ownership. I haven't played with that in like a year. This is, I'll show you that in a minute. But to turn on the ones that are in listings to leads, just hit the on button. And it's going to throw a pop-up, select the email, send to. I'm just going to default to other leads, but I can create new campaigns. I can duplicate and create new ones and assign them right to different flows and send this campaign to existing contacts. I got that on. I can turn it off and make it recurring. Yes. Hit save. Boom. That's all you have to do. And these people will now they'll start in that campaign and they'll just keep going. And the campaign goes on for like 4 or 5 months. And then the idea is that it just repeats. All right. I will show you the seller campaign and I'll show you how it works because it's pretty slick. And a lot of people love using our email campaigns. And a lot of people will take ours and they'll drop them into their own CRM. So I'm going to kind of explain both the process, the model that we're following and why it works so well, but also how to take it into your own CRM. So for example, free guy. So, they become a lead. They will typically get the autoresponder from whatever it is. So, if it's an open house ad, home value, cash offer, price reduced, right? Whatever it is, they will get the autoresponder first. So let's say you get a lead at 11:36 a.m. on Friday. So they're going to get the autoresponder right away. And then notice here, it says after 2 days. So I'm not sure if that's default, but you'll be able to see it in your account. So that means on Saturday, they would get this. Now I can edit this. I can make it say 1 day. If we have the follow campaign on in the at the same time, no, not at all. I don't think, no, because the AI text will just be a text thing. And then they're still going to get the autoresponder right away, right? So they'll get the autoresponder and a text. And then at least right here, 2 days later, they're going to get an email. Now, the emails are a little bit different from the text because the emails are going to offer the guides. So the emails are, so I can click on preview. And so here's a preview of that email, what it looks like. And when they click, it literally just downloads the guide because we know who they are. We got their email address, we got their contact record. So we know who they are. And so they can just literally download the guide right from the email. And then you'll get a notification saying, hey, Scott Pierce just downloaded your guide. And that gives me, right, the information I need to then I could call Scott up and say, hey, I just sent you my guide, inexpensive ways to increase your home value. And I just wanted to follow up and see if you might have any questions. Brent says, can you create a template home value email to reuse? One for my local people, one for out of state, many leads out of state. Brent, I don't know. You ask our support team on that one. Yeah, I just don't know. That's a great question though. And let me see. Turn that off. And I'm going to go. So every other email will be a PDF guide. And then every other email is going to be something kind of like really short, typically. Like right here, your Zillow number could be wrong. Turns out Zillow home value estimates can be way off. Zillow's former CEO sold his house for 40% less than his estimate. Not sure what your home is worth. Reach out. All right. So, something short, topical. What is home appraisal? So here's another guide. 10 most expensive ways, another guide. Right. So we're going to alternate more or less between offering them guides and then something kind of short and sweet. I have a buyer that hasn't found a home yet. Do you know if any of your neighbors might be thinking about selling? And then you're going to see, let me go to the buyer guides or the buyer follow-up to show you what that looks like. And here's the buyer guide. And let it pop up here. Yeah, no, I think it's every 3 days, Brent, by default. So day one, so after day one, So working from home. So are you working from home more these days? Would a home office be good? And I can, you can edit this. I can come in here and say, you know what, I want to change that, whatever. Change it, boom, you're good to go. Uh, Need help with down payment, right? I can say, you know what, just turn this one off. I don't want that one to go out. I don't want to deal with down payment. And I'm not making a judgment. I'm just showing you as an example. What's on your neighborhood wish list, right? And man, I'm telling you, we get, again, my wife uses these and she will get this one here. How close do you want to be to work? She will get a 500 word essay from somebody. She's gotten a few of them to this one right here. Right. And sometimes people just respond back, I want to be within 45 minutes. I want to be within an hour. So we want to either be giving you a guide or a super short question that literally takes you, the lead, 20 seconds to handle. So by 20 seconds to handle, I mean the lead, they get the email, they see it, their inclination is to delete it because they don't have time for this. But they see it's just a super quick question, as if you almost like wrote it, right? Oh, how close I want to be? Yeah, I want to buy a house. Boom, I want to be within an hour. Click done. So they can read it, respond to it, and be on with their day in 15 to 20 seconds. And so that's, or the opposite, which is, just want to pick one at random. Relocation. Okay. If you're relocating to the area, if you're relocating to the area that is stressful enough, please see the guide I created for people relocating. Let me know how I can help you. Right. And obviously that's meant to be helpful, and it's a guide. And again, when they go to download that guide, you are going to be notified right away. Hey, Scott just downloaded your relocation guide. So super, super, super awesome stuff right there. Now, the best way, if you want to take any of these to your CRM, for the regular ones, like this, like just kind of the text ones, just copy and paste it right into your CRM and add it to a campaign or whatever you want to do. For the PDF guides, the easiest thing to do is this. Go to the PDF guides, because here we have straight up embed code that's not available in the follow-up section, if that makes sense. So from follow-ups, there's not a copy code button like there is in the PDF guide for the e-flyer for your database. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I go to PDF guides, and let's say I want to add a downsizing guide for homeowners, right? Christina, I think that's what you're asking me about. So if I go to marketing tools, and if I click on e-flyer for your database, right here, right, download the guide, a link, there's the image. I can send a test email. I can also copy the code with signature. And then I can, or without signature. And there's also one, notice, Deb, for copy for FUB. Because Follow Boss is a little bit of a different code, whatever, I don't know. Always got to be different. Anyways, so you can either copy the code, or like we did before, just copy and drop it into your CRM. And you can even edit the image. So if I wanted to edit that image, because then the beautiful thing about it is you're leveraging all of the back end setup. So even if it's going out of bold, or whether it's going out of listings to leads, it'll work the same way. Yeah. In fact, let me see here. So if I go, let's do this. I'm going to click. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go open up an editor, as if I was going to add this to a campaign, add this to an email blast, right? Whatever. And so let's go a downsizing guide. I would never use that as a subject line. I just don't want to sit here and deal with that for the remainder of this call. All right, so here's my email. And I think if I go like that, image captions. I've done this before. Open link, remove, justify, image style. Yeah, if I delete it, how did I do it before? Let me see if I do this. That's just gonna, no, that just added the link on there. Maybe I did this right click, open link, open link, open link, copy image, undo. Well, yeah, if you ever want to, I don't want to waste too much time trying to figure this out off the fly. But I know I've done it before where I've even swapped out the image, which was kind of cool. And yeah, I'm not finding it because if I do this one, it's just going to delete it. I don't want to delete it. But anyways, all right. If you got the idea, you could always ask for support at your other CRM or get to the mastermind group. I'm sure I could figure it out again if I needed to. And the cool thing is that way, the keeping that image clickable, that's the key, right? I wonder if it was like this. Let me see. So if I highlight that, oh yeah, so here's that link. All right, so I just clicked here and I open it up and I see where that is going to. So I'm going to copy that link. And then if I go here, and of course, I wouldn't use this image in the email itself, but I'm just kind of showing you, could you change the image to something else? Yeah, totally. So I'm just going to use this image just as an example. And then I'm going to hit insert link. Oh. Oh, God. All right, there we go. Insert link, paste in the link, boom. Yeah, awesome. And now if I go to preview, well, let me save draft and let's see if that works. Not necessarily something that a lot of you are going to do, but it's kind of nice to be able to change, the image and make it what I want. And boom. Yep. Awesome. Looks like that worked. And that should just download. There we go. So yeah. So again, if you want to take this into your own CRM, you may want to change out the image, right? Throw our image into Canva and say, or not Canva, throw our image into your AI program and say, hey, change the background to this, yada, yada, or get an image from Canva that you want. Upload it. Once it's uploaded, click on, when you're in your CRM or ours, just go ahead and click on this link, right? This little editor will come up and click on the insert link, and that'll give you the URL that is pointing to. And then just click on the image, click on insert link, and paste it in. You'll be good to go. Kind of cool, right, Deb? Because I know somebody like Deb, you may appreciate the the flow, but I know, Deb, that I think you're pretty particular about your marketing and how it looks. You've got your own thing going on, and so I would think you would be one of those people, Deb, that would say, you know what, I love this whole thing, but I've got my own image template style guide that you want to maintain, and so you can do it easily, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, for what that's worth, there you go. All right, so what else should we talk about? I know in these kind of calls, I don't really get into like, oh, say this or do that, or, I can look up 10 Days of Pain, from 20 years ago. Right. So, when you call, right, do I need to tell you, and I will, time block every day, call through your leads, because when you don't call your leads for a day, then it goes 2 days, then it goes for 3 days, then it goes for 4 days. You wonder why. you're not having any conversations because you're thinking people are going to be calling you up, all right, which could happen later in life. But for a lot of us, we're not getting a ton of phone calls coming into us. And so that's why we talk about, in fact, if anybody wants, I would be open to sharing the listing lead success framework that I'm pretty close to being done with. Anyone with the link can view, copy. This is an ungodly long. It's like 20 pages long. Arif, I know you've seen it, and I'm almost done with it. And in fact, is this the short version? Right? Some of you are gonna be like, "What? 13 pages is a short version?" Yeah, 13 pages is the short version. Let me see this one. This is the full version. And let me see. It's 27 pages. Yikes. Let me give you the link to this one. Share, view, copy share link. Boom. Brent, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by what do you need to upload to AI? So in the framework here, we got like 5 minutes. Right, the framework, right? How to be successful. So table of contents, talking about the activities that you need to do, and just like what we saw with in the mastermind group that I just posted, mastering the listing presentation and your USP. If you don't have your listing presentation dialed in and mastered, you're not going to look forward to a listing presentation. You're not going to look forward to offering them to people. You're not going to, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be stressed. It's not going to be a good, it's not going to be the awesome activity that it needs to be for you, because you're going to be stressing out all the time. So mastering the listing presentation, and I'm telling you, if you just master, and by master, I've had people literally join Listings to Leads, create this the night before their listing appointment, go to the listing appointment, and have the homeowner say, "Where did we sign?" halfway through. So by mastering, it doesn't mean 3 years of wipe on and wipe off, right? By mastering, I mean that you just know how to create them and use them. That's it. Mastering is a lot easier than you probably think it is. But it is. You still, regardless of how long it takes, you still want to be dialed in on the listing presentation, because that's also going to help convert seller leads. Then it's going after expires and FSBOs just because they're the lowest hanging fruit in the industry. They just are. Then it's working your database. All right. Working your database. And that in part is those emails that we create every week or two. That is follow up. That is just the general stuff that you do. That is using our database call scripts. When you have an open house, you send out the e-flyer to your database, and then you use the database call script to call some people in your database to invite them. So it's about staying in touch with your database in a way that is not stressful. It is not needy. It is from a place of value. All right. And it's from a place of, contribution. All right. Third or fourth, right? Marketing listings, right? Launching those listings like you are a Hollywood producer. All right. Doesn't mean you spend $100 million and lose 50. It just means you use the system, use Listings to Leads, and you market the heck out of that listing. Use all the tools. You don't cherry pick. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just use all of them. And then it's pending and sold, right? Show your success. Show the proof of your work that you can get listings sold. You can get listings into contract. And if you just keep doing that, you are going to be in an awesome place. MK, has anyone had success? Dude, I'm telling you right now, you don't need to wait for people to answer that, because over the years, people have had a ton. I get comments from people, when I'm talking to them, whatever. every week or two that, oh my God, I love those guides. I send them out. And that's what I was saying earlier. Sometimes people take them to their CRM and they use ours, or they'll just use the eFlyer for the database. And this is something else that you can be doing. Let's say, setting up a campaign and editing the campaign, that can be a little bit involved, right? That can be a little bit what have you. You could just come in here every week. And I got people that do this. They come in here every week and they'll just grab a guide, secret to buying a home in any season. They'll go marketing tools, eFlyer for your database, and they'll just either copy the email or copy code, go to their CRM and send it out as an email blast. And then, like we saw in the success framework, for every eFlyer, there's a call script. So we want you to call through your database, and we want you to do it in a way, like I said, that's kind of value add, that's from contribution, that is not asking who do you know looking to buy or sell, right? That can come up. But in this case, it's, hey, this is Scott at XYZ Realty, and I just sent my new guide, The Secret to Buying a Home in Any Season. And I just want to make sure that you got that. And if you got any questions, please feel free to call me back, or you can drop me an email, and I would love to be of service. Right? Even a short voicemail where they can just hear your voice, because when I call 10 people, I know 9 of them aren't really going to care. But if I can find that one person out of the 10, out of even the 15 or 20, that makes it worth it, because now I'm moving forward with somebody. And if I can move forward with 2 or 3 people a day, very quickly, my pipeline is going to be filled up, and I'm going to start getting listings. I'm going to start getting buyers. And you can do the same thing with the seller guide, right? Click on the seller guides. And again, right, if you want to go through, go into bold, set up a campaign, or edit a current campaign with adding some of these in there, phenomenal. But you could also just come in here, click marketing tools, click eFlyer for your database, and just grab it and send it to your database, and then use the database call script. Because I look at the email as like the kind of the sled, right? I'm going to push that sled across the ice, and then I'm going to follow it up with the phone call, right? So, I got something moving along, people are going to see it, right? Hopefully not everyone's going to see it, but then it's the phone call that's going to make the difference. And especially if anybody downloads it, all right? If they download it, for sure, I'm going to call them up. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, MK, I saw that you downloaded my guide 17 times between the hours of 10:20 and 11:50. What the hell, dude? Right. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, hey, MK, this is Scott, and I just want to let you know I sent out my guide on downsizing. I just want to make sure you got that, and to see if you might have any questions. If I'm talking to you, phenomenal. If I'm leaving a voicemail, I might just wrap it up with, feel free to text me back if you have any questions, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. Does that make sense? Easy, easy, easy. So here we're just talking about the listing presentation, your unique selling proposition. I think this is brilliant. I would have this memorized in my own words, because, imagine, so let's say you're talking to somebody. Let's say you're at a soccer game, or you're talking to some guys at a card game or something. Are you? Yeah, I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor. Oh yeah, I'm a realtor. Okay, great. You're a realtor. But what if you were able to rephrase this? In fact, let's do this. Let's do this together. I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up chat. Pick your poison. Do whatever you want. Please rewrite this for me to say to some of I'll say my friends, who I will be voting with this weekend, and I do not want to come across as being salesy. I'm sure there's a better word for that than this. I'm absolutely thinking off the top of my head. So this is not a, but I'm thinking, hey, we're out running around all the time and people don't know what we do. Right. I mean, they know we're a realtor. Okay, great. They know a lot of realtors. You're not the only person they know that does real estate. But if we can concisely, clearly, and confidently let them know, like, hey, what is it that we do? I'm not big on the sales pitching, but one thing, yeah, I know I don't like any of these. Maybe I'll play around with it a little bit and come up with something to where, like, if we're on the boat and someone says, "Oh, how is the real estate market doing?" To be able to take that USP and kind of smoothly blend it into, yeah, the market's doing really well, and I've been working on this 27-page interactive home marketing plan. uh in fact, that right there is not a bad one, right? It's interactive, it's got QR codes and text codes, it's pretty amazing. We benchmarked it against top teams across the country, just so we make sure we don't miss anything for the homeowners here in Folsom. It has their home in it. It's awesome. It shows what it looks like on social media, and email, and direct mail. Uh, yeah, here, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll send you a copy later, and you can take a look at it. I'll love your feedback. I want to get this to as many people as possible. I don't care if they're selling or not. I don't care if they own a home. The more people that have my marketing plan on their phone or on their computer, it's free to send. Doesn't cost me anything, right? And they may know somebody else and be like, yo, John, I know you're thinking about selling your home this summer. Dude, you should check out this guy right here, right? Make sense? All right, everybody, listen, it's Friday. For those of you on the East Coast, it is getting late in the afternoon. Krista, so Brent, would you upload this document to ChatGPT, then ask what, how do you do it? Yeah, well, hopefully the idea is that this guide is just a nice overview and explanation of just the tools available both in listings to leads and just in general, right? I mean, if you're, for example, if you're going after expires and FSBOs, you probably got your CRM, you've got My Plus leads, and how does all this stuff work together? And what should I be focusing on? You should be focusing on your listing presentation, like I said, and make sure that's dialed in. Because if you dial in, especially the marketing plan part of it, everything else is going to flow so much smoother. And then it's, again, going after expires and FSBOs, lowest hanging fruit. Then it's going after your database, making sure that we're not losing that, because why are we generating leads if we're not going to manage our database effectively? Then it's generating leads, right? Marketing our marketing our listings. Could be marketing a custom home, a custom list of IDX homes, pool homes, whatever. All right. And then it's making sure that we do open houses in a way that absolutely engages people. And then we're going to market our pending listings as a show of success in what it is that homeowners hire us to do. Then it's marketing the sold listings in a way that is absolutely maximizes the visibility of our ability, right, to get properties sold. And then it's essentially rinse, lather, and repeat. All right. All right, everybody, listen, go ahead and get out of here. Have a phenomenal weekend. Get any questions, either go with our support team or get into the mastermind group. And with that, we'll talk to you soon. All right. Have a good one.